Oh my goodness. You guys have asked me so many times about how did I come to Canada. I'm going to be honest about the entire situation and I'm going to make it quick. I came here in 1988 of February. It was really freezing and cold. But before I came here, I actually got to talk to a good friend of mine who at the time was a good friend of mine working here in Toronto. And she kept coming to me and saying, I think you should come to Canada. There's an opportunity for you. Not me not knowing the entertainment industry in Toronto and me being a new entertainer because I had never really done any real full out drag shows. I knew I was good enough to be in drag shows, but I never considered myself a drag queen. I always thought I was more of an actor, and that's the way I saw what I wanted to do if I was going to do drag, as I was going to school for nursing. So I wasn't really interested in becoming a full-time drag queen. And if I was, it would be more on the actor side because I knew that I could be better. I was better at acting and making it more believable and more interesting for me. That's what I was more interested in. But anyway, when I got the call from Toronto to come to Canada, it was the agent calling me from a group called the Impostors Complex 5 Entertainment. And they were offering me a job. Now, me not knowing and never have been to Toronto and trusting a friend, listening to what the agent had to say, he said, we have an opportunity for you in Toronto. If you want to come here and do drag, we're looking for some performers to join the group. So me not knowing the drag scene in Toronto, my friend kept showing me the big side of drag here in Toronto, meaning that he was already planning on leaving this group that he wanted me to join without me knowing that he was only using me to come to Toronto so he could break his contract with this group and leave and go to an evening at La Cage. So me not knowing, I thought, oh, okay, well, let me just listen to what they have to say. So when the agent was talking to me, I was really hesitant because he was talking in circles. And I pick up on a lot of things quick. And I wasn't going to leave my home and come to Toronto without a guarantee of making sure that I would be okay when I got here. Because it was really important for me to have my life organized. And I had already finished. I was in the final processes of finishing nursing school anyway within a few months. So I wasn't really worried about a job because I knew that I could work as a nurse and make, a decent living. So I decided to listen to, like I said, what the agent had to say. But then another guy got on the phone and his name was Danny Love. And he was the actual owner of the group. And I was kind of glad. He told me straight out, he says, I'm the owner of the group and I want to be straight up with you. We need a black entertainer in the show. That's what we're looking for. And we like your Tina Turner videos and your Janet Jackson videos that a friend that was in their group had shown them. So he asked me, he said, so if you want to come to Toronto and do the show with us, I'm being upfront and honest, we really need a black entertainer because we're doing cities and black people are coming to see us, but there's nobody in the show that is black. So we need a black entertainer because the one that's in the show wants to leave. So I was hesitant about that, but what I liked about it is the fact that Danny Love was upfront and honest with me about what they needed for the show. So after speaking to my friend and saying to him, why didn't you tell me that you wanted to just break your contract? He said, well, my contract was almost up anyway, but apparently his contract was for 3 years. And La Cage was paying double the amount of money and all of this. I said, okay, well, let me just go and see. But that's the reason I ended up in Toronto, because of Mr. Danny Love. And the only reason I stayed with the group before leaving to go to Lacage myself is because when Danny was passing away, I went to see him at in the hospital, and he asked me to keep the group together and stay with the group for as long as possible and keep them working. That is the only reason I stayed with the Impostors for as long as I did. And the fact that I never, ever betrayed them and just went off to Lacage. After my contract was done with the Impostors, I just left. So, and then with dealing with immigration they had then finally made rules to where you could just go to another job and you didn't have to stick with that job. So it was easy for me to transform to Lacage, and they offered me a better contract, and they offered me, many, many years of working, guaranteed work, which was good for my immigration process. So that is why I left. I came to Canada, and that is why I am still here. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Danny Love. May he rest in peace. He was open and honest with me, which a lot of queens should be these days. And this is why I'm in Canada. Okay, so I hope I answered your question there, sir. And I never regretted being with the Impostors, because it taught me a lot, being on the road and traveling and dragging bags from city to city and being a new entertainer. And the fact that I took a chance on them and they took a chance on me being a new entertainer. You learn a lot, but I want to just say I thank Mr. Danny Love for being open and honest with me right from the get-go. And that's my story of how I came to Canada to work with the Impostors, an evening at Lacage, the Jewel Box Review, and many other different shows. And I'm here. I'm here. Until next time, my friends, that's just a little lesson. Sometimes being upfront and honest is the best way to go. Sometimes it's best to keep your mouth closed, too. People don't need to know everything. Keep something for yourself.